A blessed day. Welcome to Light for Today TV. Alright, let's keep going with our series of Bible verses that build your faith. And if you missed the previous videos, make sure to check them out. But today's verse is John 14:27. It says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." As we read through this verse, I want you to think about how troubled and afraid you are right now. How much of that trouble and fear comes from the world, and how much of it comes from you? Because here in this verse, Jesus is telling us that the world gives a kind of peace that is not real peace, and he contrasts that with the peace that he gives, which is real peace. So what does it mean for your heart to be troubled or afraid? To be troubled or afraid means to be worried, to be fearful, to be anxious, and all of us go through periods in our lives where we are like that. But here is the key: how we respond in those times of trouble and fear. Are we going to trust in the Lord? Or are we going to trust in ourselves? Are we going to trust in the world? Now here is something interesting. In the original language, the word peace is the same word that is used for the word kingdom. So when Jesus says, "My kingdom, I give it to you," it is talking about his peace. His peace is his kingdom. So what does that tell us? That tells us that when we have peace, when we have his peace, we have his presence, we have his kingdom. And when we don't have his peace, we don't have his presence, we don't have his kingdom in our life. Here is another thing that is very important. He says, "Not as the world gives, do I give to you." What is the world telling us? The world is telling us to take care of ourselves. The world is telling us to look after ourselves. The world is telling us to be anxious for nothing. But here Jesus says, that is not the way I want you to do it. Instead, he says, trust in me. Trust in the fact that I am in control. Now, does that mean that bad things can't happen? No, it doesn't mean that bad things can't happen. We can still lose our jobs. We can still get sick. We can still face all kinds of troubles and all kinds of fears. But it does mean that when we face those situations, we need to remember that Jesus is in control. So my question to you is this: what kind of peace do you have in your life right now? Do you have the peace of the world? Or do you have the peace of Jesus? If you don't have his peace, then I encourage you to ask him for it. Ask him for it today. Ask him for it right now. And remember, he is the one who said, "I am the Lord, your God. I am your God who takes care of you." Well, I hope this little reflection was helpful. If you enjoyed it, make sure to share it with somebody you know who needs to hear this message. Thank you for watching Light for Today TV. Subscribe for daily Bible reflections, and may God's peace be with you today.